Okay. Well, that's not a big deal because I really don't. I mean, y'all have to turn it in, but I'm not really concerned about it myself. But as long as I got something to put in a folder from you and you have your name on it and you did some typing and took some pictures, I'm going to accept it. Does everybody understand what I'm trying to say here? I hope you do. All right. So let's see what somebody texted something. But I'm using paracord, but you did find some. Okay, good. And Miss Holcomb found some. Miss Holcomb, I'm impressed. You're just at it. Just go at it, girl. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Here is the homework questions that have been sent to me so far. I got a 9.3 here. 9.3.
Do we know yet when our test will be?
We hadn't got to 9.5 yet. When do we start worrying about a test? When we get to the last section on the outline. Okay, 9.3, and you're going to have two tests. You're going to have the unit one, the review test, and you're going to have the unit one test. So you're going to have two to chew on. All right, 9.3, 25, 59.25. Okay, we did this one last time. We did one like it. Now it's got a negative in front of it, so that means it's going to the left. So you got to kind of do things in backwards. Negative 5 pi over 6. So again, I like to do things the way I do them. And negative 5 pi over 6. I like to know what that means. So negative 5 pi over 6. Negative 5 pi over 6. Is multiplied by 180 over pi, and the pi's cancel. 6 will go in there 30 times. Negative 150. Now I guarantee you didn't know what negative 5 pi over 6 was when you looked at it. You may have, and more power to you, but I didn't. So negative 150. We know this is 90, and we know. On a few items. Okay, I don't know why my phone has started talking to me. I don't need to be doing that. All right, and that's 180. So 150 would be right there. Negative 150. So negative 150, and I don't know, what do they want? They just want to know the reference angle. Well, the reference angle we found out last week is to the x-axis. So we'll say 30 degrees here. Right there is 30 degrees to 180, or 210 degrees if you're talking about from 360. So I'm just going to show you both reference angles and whatever they ask for. So it looks like to me that it should be, okay, 30, we got to change it back. So I'm going to go to 30. So 30 degrees over 1 multiplied by pi over 180. And that's going to go in there, pi over 6. So I guess pi over 6. Technically, it should be negative pi over 6, but I don't know if they want pi over 6 or what. So I'm just going to go with pi over 6. And that's it. Okay. That is a test question, but I'm not going to put a lot of them on there versus these test questions. Okay, so this is 9.4. 9.4. So we got the same question from two different people. So let's go ahead and look at it. No, we ain't got no questions, so that's good. It means everybody understands it. All right, this is one that we did one like it. These aren't the practical application questions I'm going to ask on the test. I mean, I'm going to ask some of them, but the ones I'm going to ask are the ones that are more like word problems. So we got 32, 42, 32, 42. And we've got 966. And this is little a, and this is little b, and this is C, and this is big B. So of course this is big A. And they want to solve the right triangle. I'm just going to solve for whatever I want to. We know that this is the opposite Oscar had, so we can do sine of 32, 42 is equal to A over 966. Okay. So if I want to find A, I just multiply both sides by 966. And that's going to give me A is equal to, take your handy dandy calculator and turn it on, sine of 32, math, second angle, degrees, and 42, second app, minutes, close parentheses, times 966. So A is 521.87. Now, since they have this to the nearest whole number, I'm going to raise mine to 522. Now you can use the Pythagorean theorem, or you could use the cosine. Cosine of 32, 42 is equal to, Oscar had A hunk, and multiply 966 by the cosine of 32, 42. I'm not going to go through that. I'm going to do the Pythagorean. Square root of 966 squared minus 522 squared. So I'm going to do that. So that will be the square root. So I'm going to hit square root second. I can't ever find the square root on this thing. There it is. Parentheses, 966 squared minus 522 squared, close parenthesis. I hate this calculator. Hold on a second. Minus, 522 squared, close parentheses, and equals 812.82, 812.82, or B is equal to 813. And you can find the angle. You can find the angle B by subtracting 180 or 90, minus 3242. And that's going to be what? 5718. Somebody check my math. Somebody tell me if 90 minus 3242 is 5718. Thanks. Let me know if it's wrong. So that's a good, but it's still not the questions. I'll ask a couple of these on the test, but that's not the questions I'm really going for. Let me show you what I'm going for. And it'll also help you with your project too. Let's go to the study plan. And that takes care of those two questions. Hopefully, unless Mr. Coley, you good on that one? Is he here today? I got to look. Hold on. Mr. Coley, are you here? I don't see his name, so I guess he's not here. Okay, so let's move over to our handy dandy study plan, chapter contents 9.4. I think we're in 9.4, aren't we? 9.4 and study plan.
I believe we're around page 656.
Is that 9.4?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm hitting study plan and nothing's coming up. Nine 9.4. It should be turning. It should be doing something. It shouldn't be just sitting there. Okay, I don't know what's happening. It's not coming up. I'll go to the, let me go to the assignments and maybe I can pull up 9.4. Only reason is sometimes they don't put all the questions, especially the, yeah, here we go. So let me back up and let's see. Yeah, these are the questions that I would ask on a test right here. Okay, here's one. Suppose that you are headed toward a plateau 24 meters high. If the angle of elevation to the top of the plateau is 15 degrees, how far are you from the base of the plateau? Okay, so go ahead and do that one. This is a test question, and this is just like a sign in the parking lot. Okay, let's say that you're in the parking lot of Tri-County Tech, and you've got your partners with you or the people that you can, and I'm gonna take, if you want to do groups or pairs, so that way it'll be easier for you to do it. That's fine, do it. Okay, I don't care. If you want 2 or 3 people, y'all can do it. But in this case, you've got a, and I'm gonna try to do this to help you out with your project, because I don't want to have to deal with people above me worrying about the project. So that's why I want to help you with it. I don't want them coming in here saying, well, you need to get your students to do this and that. I don't need you in my class, period. All right, so here is a example. I'm drawing it kind of backwards, but the plateau is 24 meters high. Okay, you could do this with a sign in the parking lot. Here's your sign, and let's say it's a sign that says watch traffic or stop or whatever. It's in the parking lot. Okay, it could be a fire hydrant. It could be a trash can that you put in your driveway. It could be anything. Okay, try to make it something that you don't have to get a step ladder to a basketball goal. You know it's set at 10 feet. So that would be something that you could do. All right. And we need to pull the string from the top of the, that's your string. And pull a distance here of like 25 feet. Okay. Now, I say these are applicable. Here you have the height. Here you don't. So you can maneuver the trig around to where you can do it. You know this is 15 degrees. You lay your protractor down where these two intersect. You lay your protractor down and your string is hitting, let's call this 20 degrees. And again, I want you to round to the nearest whole degree. Don't try to be fancy and do minutes and seconds because it's not going to work. All right, so here we can find all the information that we need with an angle and a distance. You've got an angle and a distance right here. My angle here, got my hypotenuse here, my adjacent here, and this is the opposite. Opposite here, adjacent here, and hypotenuse here. So now what I'm going to tell you is what you need to do in this section of a 9.4. Whenever you do a homework problem, I would suggest finding everything. Now, lazy people don't like to do that. They like to find just what they need to, and that's it. And if you already know how to do trig, or you invented it, one of the two, then you're fine. But if you suck at trig, you might want to do everything like I'm fixing to show you. And we got two problems here that are very similar. Project and homework / test. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and find A and H, and I'm going to find this angle up here. I can find that angle by 90 minus 15 is equal to 75. So that angle right here is 75 degrees. Okay, so that's that. Okay, let's go ahead and see. I've got my opposite over adjacent. Oscar had a hunk of apple. So the tangent. So tangent of 15 degrees equals Oscar had a hunk of 24 over adjacent. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, so let me clear the fraction by multiplying by A on both sides. So A times the tangent of 15 is equal to 24. Now, how do I get A by itself? I divide by the tan of 15. So A is equal to 24 divided by the tangent of 15 degrees. So let's do that. Take your handy dandy calculator and let's take 24 and divide, parentheses, tan of 15 degrees, close parentheses. So my adjacent is equal to 89.569. 89.569. I look up here, they got it to the whole number, so I'm going to raise mine to 90. So A is equal to 90. And of course, by the Pythagorean Theorem, you can do 24 squared plus 90 squared. So let's do that. (24 squared) plus 90 squared. And you could raise that parentheses to the 0.5 power, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and give you that, and I'm going to raise that to the 0.5 power. 93.145, which is 93 feet. So hypotenuse is 93 feet. And I just found everything on that triangle. If you can find everything on the triangles in 9.4, then you're good for the test. Okay? So hopefully knocking some of these cobwebs loose for you. Okay? Again, I'm not talking to those people that know and the people that invented it. What's the difference between the two? The people that think they invented it, they're the ones that usually don't know as much as they think they know. Okay? The people that know the material usually keep their mouth shut. The people that don't know it, the people that run their mouth and don't know it, they're the ones that run their mouth. Okay? So nobody in here says anything, so I have no idea who's who. All right, so now let's do the project example. The project example, Johnny found in the parking lot or across the street, in the parking lot of his apartment complex, there's a sign that says, do not whatever. So what he does is he puts a string at the top and he pulls it, and he pulls a tape measure, 25 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, whatever the case may be, whatever he wants to do above 25 feet. And he marks the string from there to there and from there to there. And basically lays his protractor down and gets an angle of 20 degrees at 25 feet. So now we're going to find the height of that sign without measuring. So I've got my little man right here. So his foot is on the hypotenuse and the adjacent. So I want to find the opposite. Oscar had a hunk of apple. Oscar had a hunk. Yeah, that's what you're going to use. You could use a hunk, but you're finding something you don't need. So, but that's fine. It's whatever you want to do. So I'm going to find the tangent of 25 degrees is equal to, Oscar had a hunk of apple. And I'm going to multiply both sides by 25. And in this case, since we're finding the height, we didn't have to go through and do this. So we just say O, which is the opposite, is equal to 25 times the tangent of 25. And the height of your sign is 11 feet 65, 11.65 or 11.658. 11.658, which is 12 feet or 11.7 feet. Or 12 is equal to 0. And of course, 20 from 90 is 70, so this angle is 70 degrees. And now you can do 11.7 or 12 plus 25, so let's go ahead and find the hypotenuse. 12 squared plus 25 squared is equal to that number, and raise that to the 0.5 power. So our hypotenuse is 27.73 or 28 feet. So that would be, excuse me, that right there would be an example of a project. Okay, of course you would take pictures of the string and where you marked it and taped it or whatever the case may be, whatever. Okay, somebody might be standing here with their foot on the string, or, you know, could be holding it while one person ties it up here and ties it here and holds it here with their thumb, and then the other person puts the protractor on the ground and measures that angle.
I have a quick question about that.
Yes, sir.
For the writing part that we have to type up for the project, does that have to be like really formal?
You know how formal I am. I mean, I don't care.
Okay, so just,
I would ask, kind of treat it like it was a lab project, okay?
okay, yes, sir.
I'm not going to, now if you spell cat, K-A-T, then I'll probably mark that, okay? But if you have good spelling and good grammar, I'm not gonna be persnickety, okay? I'm not gonna ask you to state the hypothesis and all this. I'm not gonna do that. Again, this is not my project. I helped with it because I've been surveying for I don't know how long. I did help with it, but I'm not a big fan of it. Okay, so
Okay, thank you.
just give me something with. I tell you what. I'm gonna tell you like I told my boss. I'm gonna put what's in whatever they want in the project. I want my students to put it in there so that way I'll have it in a file. Okay? So if it says take pictures, do me a favor, take 2 or 3 pictures and then write a paragraph and then just follow those directions and try to do everything that those directions says, and I'll be happy. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. No, it doesn't have to be turning into an English teacher. No, you don't have to worry about that. All right, let's do a nerd. All right, try this one. A security camera is mounted. Now this is not, it's not equal to a project because I'm not going to ask you to put the protractor on top of the sign. Okay, I'm not going to ask you that, but this is a test question / standardized test question, so we're going to do it. All right, there's your example right there. Let me make it a little bit smaller. There. All right, write this one down. I'll be writing it on my page while y'all are writing it down. A security camera is mounted on a bank wall. .17, 11.95, and that's it. Find the angle. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my hypotenuse because I may not want to do the same as Mr. Wexler wants to do. In other words, Mr. Wexler, he may want to use tangent. Well, I don't want to use tangent because that's the opposite over the adjacent. I want to use the hypotenuse. I want to use the sine. So fill out the hypotenuse. So the square root h is equal to the square root of 5.17 squared plus 11.95 squared. So I'm going to go to my handy dandy calculator and I'm going to do the square root, second, turn it on, clear, second square root, parentheses, 5.17 raised to the second power plus 11.95 raised to the second power, close parentheses. I got 13.02. Now, why did I go to 0.02 and not write it as 13? Somebody tell me that.
Because the other two have 2 decimal places.
Exactly. And that's basic science / math. If you start with the 10th, you end with the 10th. If you start with the 100th, you end with the 100th. If there's no directions to tell you that, that's a general rule. All right, now I'm ready. I can do anything I want with this problem. I'm going to find this angle. Why? Because I just do everything against the grain. No, because I'm going to fill out everything. So I put my little man right here, and his foot is on the adjacent, and his foot is on the hypotenuse. So that means I can use Oscar had, I can use sine, I can use cosine, and I can use tangent. All three of them will give me the same answer. So I'm going to use Oscar had a hunk. Let's see. I'm going to use Oscar had sine. So sine of theta is equal to Oscar had 5.17 over 13.02. And I want to get sine theta by itself, so I'm going to divide by the sine. Divide by the sine. Theta is equal, bring that sine up, and it'll be inverse sine of 5.17 divided by 13.02. Somebody do that for me in your calculator and give me an even degree. I'm not going to, I can't stand decimal degrees, so I'll just give me a whole number degree, okay? Somebody do that for me.
I got 24 or 23.
Okay, did everybody get 23? Give me somebody raise their hand that got 23. Okay, so okay, they're good. All right, you can put your hands down now. All right, so now that's 23 degrees. So somebody tell me what I need to do to find this one. Well, you could actually set up here. You could subtract it from 90, but let's take a different color and let's put our man up here. His foot is on the hypotenuse and the what? Adjacent. So that means that if I'm up here, that means this is the opposite. So here we go. Sine of theta is equal to Oscar had, so that's going to be 11.95 divided by 13.02. And y'all know how that happens right here. So inverse sine theta is equal to the inverse sine of 11.95 over 13.02. Somebody give me that to a whole number, and I would probably say it's going to be 67 degrees.
Yes, sir.
It's a miracle. Okay, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Let's say that you take Spanish classes. Okay, some of y'all took it in high school. And you go to Mexico or wherever, South America, and you go on a Spanish class field trip. Okay? What should you be able to do with your Spanish that you're learning in order to survive in those places?
Speak Spanish.
Speak it what?
Fluently.
What does fluently mean?
Means it's second nature.
Exactly. It means that whatever the natives, and I say natives, the people that are native to wherever you're visiting, whatever they throw at you, you should be able to what? Interpret, right? What in the heck does that have to do with this? In order to pass my test, you should be able to take a triangle like this and be able to fluently switch gears. In other words, put delta up here, not delta, theta. Put theta up here and figure whatever. Put theta down here and figure whatever. Given two distances, be able to find the hypotenuse. Given a distance and an angle, be able to find everything. That's fluent trigonometry. If you can do fluent trigonometry on this type of problem, then you are good for 9.4. Okay, so let's do a nerd. Because I know there's some people out there are like this. Here's the problem, and here's the answer. Some people are like this, straight line. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, here's the problem, here's the answer. Some people are like that. And then some people are like that. All right? You need to be this. You need to be the straight line from the problem to the answer. Okay? So hopefully you can figure out which one you are and where you need to be. Let's do a nerd. All right, this one right here will probably make your head explode because you have to actually do some thinking. The angle of elevation from a point on the ground to the top of a pyramid is 24.30 degrees, or 24.5 degrees. The angle of elevation from the point 103 farther back to the top is 1350. Find the height of the pyramid, Find the height. I'm going to draw this on a piece of paper while y'all are drawing it. Yeah, I'd probably just quit. All right, I got mine drawn, so I want you to start working on it. Take about 2 minutes and get started on it. Okay. So we've got two rectangles here. And I'm going to try to color these rectangles. I'm going to color this one pink. And I'm going to color the big triangle yellow. Everybody see it?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I've got opposite over adjacent. So that's the tangent. So I'm going to do the tangent in pink. So the tan of 2430 is equal to, Oscar had a hunk of h over x. And now I'm going to get my yellow marker. And I'm going to do the tangent of 1350 is equal to h over x plus 103. Multiply by x plus 103. Multiply by x plus 103. So tangent of 1350 times x plus 103 is equal to h. And multiply both sides by x. And x times the tan of 2430 is equal to h. Somebody tell me where I'm going with this.
You're going to set them equal to each other?
Bing! Yep. Set them equal to each other and solve. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, what do you mean solve? Well, what's tangent of 1350? It's a number. So you got a pre-algebra problem. What do you mean, Hubert? So go over here, tangent of, what is it? Let's do 2430. Tangent of 24 second apse degrees and 30 seconds or 30 minutes second apse degrees or whatever equals. All right, I'm going to change that. Instead of that pink tangent, I'm going to say 0.4557262555 x is equal to h. And then over here, I'm just going to hit second enter. And I'm going to change that to 1350. And that is going to be 0.2462405 times x plus 103. And now you set them equal to each other. Now you got a pre-algebra problem. Now, you may not like the way it looks, but that is a pre-algebra problem. Distribute the x, distribute to the 103, and that's there. Now combine like terms. So do that. Finish the pre-algebra problem. And once you've got x, you can find h with the pink triangle. I'm going to write all this down while y'all are working. So that's going to be 0.246205222x plus, and I'm going to do that in the calculator. I ain't writing all that out, times 103, 25.36277, 379 is equal to 0.45572625555x. And there's your pre-algebra problem. So I've got an x here. This x is bigger. The pink x is bigger. So I'm going to bring this one over here. So I'm going to take 0.455726 minus my yellow x, which is 0.24624 05222. And that is my new x. I'm running out of room down here, but I may have enough room to write that. So that's going to be, I'm just going to write it in purple now because I'm combining everything. So that's going to be equal to 0.20948573333x is equal to 25.36277.379. Now, of course, you can round to the third digit. Okay, I don't care about that. I'm just showing you how everything works out. So I'm going to take 25.36277.379, and I'm going to divide by second answer. And that gives me a distance of 121.07 is equal to x. Somebody tell me if that's what they got.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so x is equal to 121. I'm going to leave it 121 because that 103 is to the, so I'm just going to say 121. Now, I'm going to go up here in another pink. I'm going to go up here, part 2. Okay, I'm going to say, let's see, this is my little man. He's got hypotenuse and adjacent. I need the opposite. Oscar had a hunk of apple, so it's still going to be tangent. So tangent of 2430 is equal to, Oscar had be h over 121, and that is going to be h is equal to 121 times the tan of 2430. Has anybody done it yet? Just give me a whole number, please. This is part 1.
$55.14.
55.14. I'm gonna say 55 because the other ones were, of course, the pyramids are taller than that. But anyway, I'm gonna say 55. So let's go back and 55. It's a miracle. Now I'm going to put that back up right quick. So you can either take a picture of it or go back to the video tonight and pause it or whatever you need to do. But that's how you do that problem. Now, if you know how to use memory on your calculator and solve and put these into memory, it would make things a whole lot easier. Okay? The stow button, STO, if you know how to use the stow button and put it in a file by itself, like alpha A, and then it'd make life a whole lot easier. But I don't know how many of you know how to do that, so we're just going to let you do it as needed if you can do it. Question on this one? Okay, let's see what the next one looks like. Let me check the time before y'all start exploding. Okay, we're good. Next question, let's see what that one looks like. Okay, that's the same type question. Stone face, that's the same type question. I'm not going to do that one. I want to get to the pond. Well. Okay, a ship leaves its port and sails on a bearing of north 2620. And another ship leaves the same port on a bearing of south 6340 at speed 13.5. So that's 13.5, and that's 27.2. How far are the ships after 2 hours? Okay, so 2 hours, this is 27, so that would be 54.4 this way, 54.4, and this way should be 27 miles per hour. I'm sorry, 27 after 2 hours, be 27 miles this way, and 54.4 miles this way.
Did you get that by just multiplying the speed by 2?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Check me because I was doing it in my head. Okay, so all right, don't be crazy on this now. Don't be this girl. Let's see. Where's my YouTube? Blonde explaining miles per hour. Have y'all ever seen this chick explain miles per hour? Anybody? Well, you need to watch it. Not only is she very narcissistic, but she's also dumb as a post. All right? So don't be like her. I feel sorry for that guy. This is done like 8 years ago. And it's still got how many views? 12 million views. You have to watch it. Kind of like the girlfriend that can't understand the pizza problem. Have you ever seen this one? Do y'all are y'all like listening to me or what? Okay, nobody's going to talk to me.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen
Okay,
miles per
look
hour.
at both of them. look at both of them and stay away from people that can't explain miles per hour. Okay, you need to stay away from those people. All right, I'm sorry. Let me go back to what I was doing. There we go. So we've got a triangle, and I don't think they're asking. They may ask for an angle. I don't know. But you know, if you add 6340 and 2620, that's 90 degrees. So this inside angle is 90 degrees. Now you don't know that yet, but you will. All right, so I've got an angle that's 90 degrees. And one boat is leaving out at 2620, leaving out at 27.2 miles per hour. So one of them's heading out at 27.2 miles per hour. The other one is heading out at 13.5 miles per hour. They want to know what the distance is right here, the hypotenuse, after 2 hours. Find H after 2 hours. Okay, here we go. If you are traveling at 13.5 miles per hour, how far are you going to travel in 2 hours? Please don't be the blonde.
$54.4 miles.
Okay, the 13.5 and 50, you're going to multiply both of these by 2. So I'm going to redraw draw it a little bit bigger because it's after 2 hours. You've traveled 54.4 miles here, and you've traveled, what, 27 miles here. You still want to find H. Well, all you got to use is what?
Pythagorean Theorem.
I think that's what you said, right?
Yes,
So C is equal to the square root of 54.4 squared plus 27 squared. Somebody done that yet? Give me to the 10th, since these are to the 10th. Somebody give me to the 10th, please.
$60.7.
Everybody get 60.7? Okay, now you can figure these angles. If you needed to figure this angle, we'll call that one theta. We'll call this one phi. All right, if you want to find those two angles, you can find those two angles now. Actually, you could have found the angles just with these, but since they were asking for the miles apart, 60.7. Question, gripe, complaint. All right, let's keep going. Okay, I'm gonna move on. That's one like that one. Okay, here we go. Now this one is like the horizontal. I showed you the vertical angle of the project with the sign. This one's more like problem in the parking lot. Let me show you. Go ahead and write this one down. R T S, and this is the lake. And you could use well, let's say your house is right here. Okay, so, and this is, let's see, to find the distances across the lake, a surveyor lays off RT. RT is 53.1, 53.1 meters. And angle T is 3340. And angle S is 5620. Well, see, that's silly right there because you wouldn't have angle S because you're not going to set up in the lake. So that would be, no, I'm not going to. Okay, they just subtracted it from 90 is what they did. Okay. And angle S is 5620. Okay, here is the problem with the project right beside it. Okay, this is the bird's eye view. In other words, you're looking at the top of your house right now. And the house would be extreme. You could use, if you're in a parking lot and you got a curb right here, this is the curb. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 5 parking spaces. And you pull out from this line, you pull another, from here, you pull a string. There's your string. We'll do your string in a different color. String in pink. And let's say you go out 30 feet from the curb. Okay. And you put another string to that 4th parking space. 1, 2, 3, 4. And your angle, you lay your string down and you put your protractor right here and you get an angle of 40 degrees. Now you've got your project set up. Take pictures and you will be able to guesstimate by trig, have a very, very good number, which is going to be 48 feet. It's going to be close to 48 feet in the real world. I don't know what this angle is. I just made that up. But parking spaces are usually 12 foot wide. They usually are. Some are 8, some are 10. Depends on how cheap the person that built the complex or the parking lot is. Okay. So that's how you would set it up. Here, the house, you would take from the corner of your, you could go from the corner. You don't have to do the middle. You could go from the corner and and then stretch a string to the corner. This could be the garage of your house. Okay, that could be the garage. It could be a building. It could be a storage building in the backyard. Storage building. And if you live in an apartment complex, you would use the parking lot maybe. Maybe there's a median in the parking lot. Let's say there's a area in the parking lot that looks like this and has trees. It's a bird's eye view. Tree that has 2 trees right there. And you got like 5 5 parking spaces right there. Okay, you could draw your string out to here. I'm going to do it again. Draw your string out to here. Let's say that's 50 feet. And then draw a string to that corner right there. And measure your angle. Let's say that angle is 35 degrees. Now you got what you need for your project. And I'm going to get into finding the area. We're going to find the area of this region right here. Just like you're going to find the area of this region. And for your house, we'd find the area of this region. So that's the horizontal angle. So the vertical angle would be a sign in the parking lot. A horizontal angle would be like a median with 2 trees. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have went that far along. But anyway, here's our project. I meant not our project. Here's our problem. I got to hurry before y'all explode. Okay. And they give us this angle right here. They want to know this distance. So that's opposite. So Oscar had a hunk of apple. It's going to be the tangent. So tan of 3340 is equal to opposite over 53.1. Multiply both sides by 53.1. 53.1 times the tan of 3340. I need somebody to type that in for me. And since it's to the 10th, let's go with the 10th, please. What is 53.1 times the tan of 3340? What is that? Come on. We got 2 minutes before y'all explode. I guess I'm going to have to do it myself. Everybody else is asleep.
35.4.
35.4. So the lake is 35.4 meters. Now, we've done how many? 5 or 6 problems? Y'all should start feeling kind of fluent with this stuff. So, how many of you feel better? Let's see some hands. How many of you feel better? Leave them up. I'd like to see what the whole class looks like. How many of you feel better with whatever this chapter 9.4? Okay, I'm seeing 14 out of 17. I'm good. Put them down, please. All right. Well, I feel better about going over 9.4 with you, and hopefully y'all can finish this homework and we can move on. Now, a lot of you are stressing about the test. People, the only person that should be stressing about anything in this class is me, okay, because I'm the one that has to get through the work, okay? Mr. Winchester, okay, put your hand down, Mr. Winchester, so you go back to your W's so I can take the roll. After we get through with the basics, we're going to roll a little bit faster, okay? So those of you that are, bouncing off the wall, wanting to get to the next section, go ahead and go to the next section if you want to. I'll unlock, I don't know if the homework is unlocked or not, but I'll unlock it. You can go to town, 9.5, which is basically the unit circle, okay? So it's not a big deal. Then after that, we'll start worrying about a test. All right, let me get out of that. Let me go and cut off the presentation and the recording.